my front porch art friends. Welcome to another art lesson. Today we're going to do a recycled project using coffee filters shaped in as leaves, and we're going to watercolor them. You'll need your watercolors, your brush, a dropper that came in your kit, some washi tape that came in your kit, and you can put the twine away. We're going to use that at the very end to hang up your leaves. You can also put your washi tape aside for now. You'll also need a little dish of water, because when you do watercolors, you need some water. You can also use a crayon if you'd like for one of the techniques. You can bring in your markers. That's another way you can add some color to your leaves if you'd like. And I like to use some real leaves just so I can get ideas for colors for my leaves. And also to see the placement of the veins that we're going to draw. So you can do a little scavenger hunt, find a few different color leaves, and then separate the leaves that came in your kit. You should have probably around 12 or 14 of the coffee filters. They are pretty thin, so you can kind of rub them between your fingers and make sure they're all separated. And you can paint them one at a time. You can see the veins on the leaf here, and that's the part we're going to draw in with a crayon if you'd like to. So generally there's one kind of up the middle of the leaf from the stem, and then some branching out to the other points. And this is kind of fun because it shows through your paint when you're done. You don't have to do this step, but those are the veins right there. And this real light leaf, and we're going to paint right over that crayon because crayon is waxy and it resists the paint. So I'm going to try to paint some colors here that are like the real leaf I'm looking at. So you can see I'm choosing some red and some orange and some yellow, maybe a little bit of brown, got a little black. I have to add water to my paint so that it's all ready to go. And then just start painting it on. Get a little more on my brush, and I add some water. And remember, when you add water to watercolor, it makes the color lighter. And then you add more paint and it makes it darker. I think watercolors are so much fun because of the way the colors flow into each other. What happens when you paint red next to yellow? What color do you think that makes? You can see I put one leaf just over the other one a little bit. And it's kind of fun to watch the color transfer from the underneath leaf to the one that's on top. I just love all the different colors of leaves in the fall, don't you? And you can have lots of fun with this. You can make it really, really dark. You can keep it light. And you can see when I hold it up, it's really floppy and wet. They don't take very long to dry at all. But you can move them off to a drier part of your paper. It's a good idea to do this on a piece of scrap paper because it absorbs some of the water. But this watercolor paint really doesn't stain or anything. Now here's another thing you can do is to get your markers out. And you can color on a leaf. Just do some scribbles of different colors, and then you're using the dropper that came in your kit to drip water on it, and you can watch those watercolor markers flow and blend. You'll probably still see the stripes from the scribbles that you did on your leaf, but you can add some watercolor over it. So that's just another thing you can try with the materials that come in your kit. I'm doing some blue and some purple. I'm not sure I've ever really seen a purple and blue leaf, but you know what? We're artists here, and we can do whatever we like with color. That's what makes it fun. It doesn't always have to be realistic looking. And you can see what happens when we add water to this. The marker starts to blend a little bit and run. It's just fun to see all the different looks you can get. As the leaves dry, they will lighten up quite a bit, so you can put lots of paint on this. And if it's too light when it's dry, you can paint over it again. So this one is almost dry after just a few minutes. I love how those colors blended. And you can see I got a couple of black spots of paint on there. It was kind of by accident. But it looks like the real leaf. It has black spots on it too. And here's another one. You can see the veins on the leaf showing through. Remember, we drew those on with a crayon. So you can have lots of fun with this. And this one's pretty light. We did some green and yellow, a little bit of purple. And then that one I decided was a little too light, so I went back in and added some more. And you can do that too. The coffee filter paper feels pretty like thin and delicate. It's pretty tough. Unless you really try to tear it, it won't tear too easily. So you have all these leaves in your packet, and you can do them all different colors or some of the same colors. And when you're doing it, it might look like a mess. But you'll be so surprised when it dries and you lift them all up. You can see they kind of blend into the paper here. At one point I thought, where did my leaf go? But I kind of got my head right down next to the edge of the paper and I looked, and there it was. I just love all these bright colors, don't you? And here it is when it's all done. I taped the very edge of the leaf to the twine with the washi tape. You just tear off a little piece. You can see the yellow right there. And then I hung it up. I hung it up from my fireplace. Here's a picture of my daughter who did one of these in her dorm room. I hope you have as much fun as she did.